Hello,
Hi everyone.
we're back after watching the prom with all of you guys as part of our Travelling Symphony week 6 of the winter season. And what I would like to know, oh, got a bit of audio there. What I would like to know is what you thought about it.
I don't know, I think I might have to take a little bit of time to digest. I'm interested to hear what we had a few big musical fans here tonight.
We had some musical fans.
So I'd quite like to know what the musical fans thought and what the non-musical fans thought. Oh, is there no...
My phone wasn't plugged in.
Oh, whoops.
So that
Can you
may...
hear us?
I don't know if you guys could have heard us before. Can you hear us now? No, I think it works.
Okay.
I think we are okay.
Ben says hi mum, hi dad. Hi Ben. Little baby Ben.
So, there we are. So what we would like to know is what you guys thought about the movie. I actually, personally, at the start, I wasn't 100% convinced. And then after it was about almost up to the hour point, and there were more than a few grumblings of discontent on the Discord. But then
Yeah.
I think that the big fake out prom reveal was a real kind of like where they actually, also somebody else said on the Discord, when they started actually adding a bit of emotional weight to it. And I actually, from that moment on, I just think that it pretty much just got better.
Yeah.
Better and better. And by the end, I was completely sold
Into
on
it.
it. Completely sold on it.
We've got some people sort of agreeing with you there. David A, bad first hour, after the twist got much better.
Yeah.
Paul Zian makes an interesting point. This musical fan thinks it will not live in the memory. Solid storyline let down by lack of memorable songs. And I think I would actually agree with that.
I think that the songs will not live long in the memory. In fact, I think with a lot of musicals, you come out of them humming one or two
Or
songs.
thinking one of the songs, and it's
And there's not that many songs in there that you think like, yeah, I'm gonna look that up on Spotify and listen to it afterwards.
Yeah, or like Hamilton.
Like Hamilton, when
I mean,
you walk
that's
out
just-
and you just put the soundtrack on for
But
the rest of
that's
your life.
a genre of its own. That's not like that.
Like Dominoes.
We shouldn't discuss that within the realm of musicals. And then MC said, "Well, I cried," and I actually thought, yeah, like I was a bit torn. Like the end, it was really sort of emotional. It did
I
have
cried
a
as well,
nice
MC.
end. Did
I'm
you?
gonna-
I thought you looked a little bit, but I just thought you were tired.
I think maybe the last 10 minutes I was
just
pretty
sort of-
much almost in tears the whole time.
Oh, that's so cute. It was good. It was good.
It was
And-
good, and I feel like it's, to some extent, once you kind of tuned your ear into it, because
Yeah.
with a lot of films, you've almost got to get to the pace of the film. You've got to get to the tone and get to the style, and you have
Yeah.
to kind of meet it halfway almost.
Yeah.
And once you meet it, you kind of have to go with it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think from that point, it's on the film to kind of take you,
Yeah.
but you almost have to make that first bit of effort, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean, and I think that sometimes it's hard to like switch into that, especially with a musical. And maybe, and I think that Paul Zian was right that it was maybe the lack of the catchiness of the songs, because sometimes with musicals, like that's what really gets you into it. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, great number, and you sort of. Whereas I think sometimes, and like personally for me, and I think this is just coming from being like a cynical British person, like that's just who we are. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's sometimes hard with the subject matter of a very Americanized style, like that the whole prom thing, they're already a little bit over the top in just like the way that they do things.
Yeah.
And it can feel to a Brit very cheesy. And like maybe if I'm in like a certain mood, that might not grate on me so much. Cheesy.
Cheese, yep, good,
Just a
good.
whole cheese
I didn't get that, but...
But yeah, like so sometimes like I was really like getting into it, and I do think that the character development was good in the second half, but I was sometimes like brought out of it by just the songs not quite connecting.
Yeah.
And then the subject, like obviously it is a musical, it is supposed to be light and camp and fun, but sometimes like the subject matter of like inclusivity and quite a serious subject matter, for me doing it in that way, I don't know,
Didn't quite work.
it didn't quite work. Not all the time, but just I kept being in the movie and then out of the movie, and it was a little bit like that. Meryl Streep though,
Yeah.
I'd watch it again just for her.
Well, before we go on to the performances, because I think we've already had quite a few comments.
Yeah.
So
Natalie said, I thought it went on for way too long. And and that's the other thing is, let's not forget the editing could have,
well, I think
been a lot different.
I would have definitely said you could have taken half an hour out of the first hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
Get them there within 5 minutes rather than 20 minutes.
I'm just reading the comments. Then yeah, it's true. It's true. And because it had a strong start, I quite liked Meryl Streep's number of like, it's all about me, or it's not about me, but it was all about her. Like that kind of setting the scene was quite good, and then it really sort of dipped for a while, and you thought, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Angela Kennedy said, fun, lively, good message. David Chapman pretty much got better. Put it on the poster.
It did pretty much get better from that moment onwards.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Yeah, Emily again said the heart of the film definitely played out in the second half.
Yeah.
Someone said, I can't imagine it even being on Spotify. The real Aristotle 999. Emergency Aristotle.
Oh, emergency Aristotle,
yeah.
eh?
Yeah.
Maybe Michael Burke Aristotle.
Yes, could well be. Also, David has asked, are you drinking red wine?
Yes, I am.
Even are you? He says.
I'm drinking a fine Sangiovese, and I could tell you a story about it, but it's too boring.
You're drinking a fine Sangiovese after crying to a musical.
Yes, I am.
You've reached your peak in life, John. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Oh gosh, yeah. There's loads of
Hit me some more. I'm going to run the Ole again because I worked really hard on it and it didn't work for the first one.
Yeah, and Angela Kennedy said it was a musical after all. Think they're basking in the light of La La Land, The Greatest Showman. Ben said it's Ribena. What does that mean?
For the red wine.
Oh, the red wine. I get it.
It's not like Marmite.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, is this like?
Oh, it's like a Ribena kind of film.
Yeah, like...
a little bit too sweet. If you had it all in one go, you'd probably retch.
I was like, oh, maybe too diluted. What's the? Yeah. Oh gosh. Yep. So Fabricated also said I struggled with the unacknowledged irony at first. Yeah. And again, maybe that was like a tonal thing. And I do sometimes think that it can be like a culture thing because the Americans do get into this stuff a lot more than us.
Yeah.
I'm obviously speaking broadly for Americans and broadly for British/Europeans, but that's,
Yeah.
And then Fabricated said it didn't seem very liberal for a group of people to trek across the country to tell a bunch of other people what to do, no matter how good their intentions. Yeah, and that was the thing, and I wonder whether like that was supposed to be a bit ironic.
I think it was, and I think it was kind of trying to poke fun at this kind of attitude of going over and preaching to people about what their values
and going into their towns and telling them how to live their life, and like, oh, we're going to show you because we're from Musical Darling. Yeah, I get that.
But I do also agree that the fact that they didn't make that abundantly clear, like they kind of tried to during the characterization, it didn't necessarily hit because, again, for me, the first hour didn't really work at all.
Yeah.
And it was only once that they'd kind of got over that hurdle that then it started to settle into it.
And maybe as well, it was like, who was the film about? The Meryl Streep and her gang, or the lesbian couple?
Yeah.
Because maybe that was it. It was like fighting because the start was all, you know what I mean? Like setting the scene for them.
And it's almost like they were trying to make that the point.
Yeah.
It's not about them, but it is about them.
It is about them.
And it's almost like the film was saying, we can't decide what it's about. So we're just going to shove it on and see what you think. Yeah. Any other comments?
Asia said, I did like it in the end, but it made me cringe more than Rebecca Black's Friday song.
Got to get down on Friday.
Yeah. But yeah, and I do think that it really was that duality of kind of really getting into it and thinking this is heartwarming and nice, and then feeling a bit cringe.
But then that's kind of what I'm thinking about trying to get, like, tune your ear in. It's like trying to tune in a radio, and until you kind of tune your expectations to what the film is trying to achieve, then it will feel completely jarring. And then once you tune in,
but I felt like I could tune into that. But it's easier for me to tune into like
you're
dark,
a cynical old bastard.
Just brutal subject matter. Whereas this, it's harder. I think it depends on your mood. 2020 isn't the year to just be able to just breeze into it like musical, perhaps.
Perhaps not the film that you wanted in 2020, but perhaps the film you needed.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. Angela Kennedy said musicals are cringy, isn't that the point?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of do agree. But that's the thing, because I'm not a massive like musical person, so that's why I wanted to ask what the musical people thought, rather than you know, be cynical. But no, I think that generally it looks like people enjoyed it.
People had
Someone said, "Can you take the chat off the screen, please?"
I can do that. Is it too distracting? It's gone.
I can't see. Oh,
It's gone.
yeah, it's like little things.
It's out.
Yeah. Bye bye.
That's how easy it is. Technology, innit?
Cheryl said I also enjoyed it. And then MC said it was initially all about them and then the kids. So yeah, I think
as they realised it wasn't about them, so the film realised it wasn't about
and
them.
So it was multi-layered. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So what did you make of the performances then? So first of all, let's talk about Meryl Streep.
Okay, yeah, Angela Kennedy made a good point as well. We'll go back to that. Meryl Streep, she's just so good. She just... And
this is the last time I'm going to run it, I promise.
And I think that a lot of the reviews were saying she was fantastic and she seemed to really just enjoy this role, and I think that really came across. So many of her, the way she just like captures the moment with that look to the camera or that little nod to like so knowing, and I think that was what helped. She, when we were talking about, were we sure about whether are they being ironic, are they not? And then I think she and her character kind of helped you to think, no, they are. Because she would sort of give those little looks. She was
a bit more scenery chewing than the rest of them, so it kind of sold you that it was meant to be an over-the-top thing.
Yeah. But she's fabulous.
She was fabulous, but I would also say that having read all the comments about James Corden, and I do 100% get the points that his character, him not being gay and playing a gay character was problematic, and I would completely get the point of what people were saying with that. However, I was expecting a much more annoying performance from him. And because it has been quite a negative reviews, and I didn't think, and I thought, and when people were saying, "Oh, he's played it really overly," I didn't think it was. I didn't find that the case.
Bear in mind, he is like supposed to be. It's a showbiz musical character. It's not.
And I also found out, I thought that he handled the emotional scenes quite well.
Yeah.
The emotional scenes for me played better than the campy scenes.
Yeah.
Like the bit of like him picking the dresses and the let's go shopping bit, that didn't really work.
Yeah.
I didn't believe that of him and of his character. Well, I believed it of the character, I didn't believe it of him.
Yeah, and maybe that is why people have the issue with it. And I think as well, I think it is difficult because obviously, like, if you're an unknown actor, then it doesn't matter if you're gay or not playing a character. But if you're known, then it becomes more of an issue, and it doesn't ring true so much with him having a conversation with someone about coming out and this kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that if you were a gay actor playing a gay character, that could have had even more weight to it.
Yeah, and there are probably other people that maybe the critics would say, look, I can think of 10 people who would have been better in that role, and I would.
Someone was saying that. I was reading something in which someone was saying they would have really loved Nathan Lane in that role, and I can see that. Nathan Lane, the guy, I don't know what you might have seen him in. The Mouse Trap, was he in that? He was also, in Modern Family, the gay couple.
Yeah. And
he plays one of Pepper.
I was thinking, you know what? I was actually thinking about Modern Family when we were watching this, because I was like, that's a good example of a non-gay person playing a gay person. The guy, the gay couple.
The guy who plays Cameron.
The guy who plays Cameron, because he's not gay in real life, but I feel like he just does that character really well, and he's been very praised for that. And I was thinking, okay, what's the difference between sort of him and a James Corden? I don't know. But that guy, the guy who plays Pepper, would have been really good. Yeah. Yeah. So. But he wasn't. I don't think
James Corden, not as offensive as
people
perhaps
make
billed.
out.
Put that on the poster as well.
And also his accent was a little bit...
His accent was a bit shonky.
They could have just made him British. It
wouldn't have had made any difference at all to the film.
Yeah, and Angela Kennedy said, isn't there some kind of parallel between narcissism and some insular communities that only think about themselves as the world?
That's a good point.
Which is a really good point, yeah.
And this was kind of like a clash of two insular communities who both believed that they were the world and they were representative of what is correct.
Exactly, yeah. And a lot of love for obviously Meryl Streep, saying that she sent up her industry stereotypes so well. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And I feel like the way that she did it in that character, it did show both sides, because it showed kind of the side of how it's a bit ridiculous that people always jump on celebrities for being like that, but it also showed the side that they can also be like, be like that at times. So it was quite cleverly done, I thought. It was really very knowing.
Yeah. I was really disappointed that they didn't show her ex-husband ever, because I really wanted
it was gonna be like
a massive celebrity that was going to be on for about 15 seconds. That was really what I was after.
Was it Spider-Man?
Tom Holland in that? I don't think it was, because I think they surely would have made a bigger deal of it if it was.
Yeah, they would have done. Yeah, but it looked like it was him for a second.
Any other? Wow, got a lot of comments.
I know, and my thing keeps popping back up to the top, so that's useful. And Ben said people want to hate him. And that's also true of James Corden. I don't know why, but I get that.
There's a bit of a bandwagon because people don't like his chat show, etc.
Really? Yeah. I really like his... I love Gavin and Stacey and I love some of the stuff he does. Maybe I just don't love the chat show thing, so maybe that's where... I don't know. But yeah.
And he I think because he is a bit lovey, people kind of dislike that part of him.
That element of him.
And because he's kind of me and my celebrity mates.
But then it's kind of like, so everyone says that of him, and then he plays this role, which is a lovey with his celebrity mates, and everyone goes, oh, God.
Yeah.
You know, and it's I'm sure
what,
he feels like,
win?
I can't win. Yeah, exactly. Because maybe it was kind of supposed to be a bit ironic, him doing that role as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Interesting.
There was one that just popped up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, David A said, I thought that his performance was quite good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But agree that there are a plethora of gay actors that could have played that role.
Yeah.
Dan Levy, the guy from Schitt's Creek.
Oh, yeah. So that's when you just think, like, yeah, James Corden was good, but I mean, that would have just been amazing.
I think maybe the thing would have been that he can't sing, or maybe he can't sing.
Maybe he can't sing, yeah.
Because it's one thing as well to have an actor, but like if he hadn't done his own songs and then they'd have had somebody behind the scenes that was doing his singing voice, then there'd have been a whole other thing of oh my god, this guy that's in the background with the incredible voice, you never see his face. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true. But that
yes, I agree. He would have been great in that role.
Yeah, and there probably would have been better people, to be fair. And pausing into, I didn't think the two lead female student leads were very convincing. They looked like two straight girls kissing for attention at school when you're 16 but not really getting into it. And that is also true. Neither of them blew my socks off.
No. No. I thought that the one that wasn't the main character. The thing is, I don't even know their names, the characters' names.
A little bit telling,
the one that wasn't, the one that was the girlfriend, daughter of Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
Her. Yeah. I thought she was better.
She was better, I thought as well.
But
the main one was just.
But also, it's very difficult when you're sharing a screen with all of those, Meryl Streep and Nicole Kidman.
I think you've always got to look a bit ordinary.
You're kind of going to look a bit. And you know what? I was kind of impressed by Keegan-Michael Key as well, because he doesn't often play that kind of in this kind of sweet, pure thing. He's always a bit edgy and a bit unsettling sometimes. Yeah. But actually, no, I thought he was really good.
He was really good. I thought he was very good in that role, and I'm glad. I think he added a lot to it actually. He's great. I love him, and him and Meryl Streep. I think they had a good chemistry. More funny comments.
I was just reading up.
Yeah, so I think
on the
whole, a lot better than it seemed in the first kind of 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, I thought that we may have been on for our first kind of real turkey of the movie club, but it pulled itself around admirably.
It did, yeah.
So Alyssa Green, of course, that was the name of her character.
Oh yeah, because she actually did say
there was
her
a
name.
whole.
There was a whole song.
She said her name so many times.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. It was like Pikachu. She kept saying it so much.
Yeah.
No, how can I have forgotten that?
Man, oh dear. Oh, got wine brain.
Oh dear. So I think overall, kind of relatively pleased with that.
Yeah.
And I'm relatively pleased that the majority of people ended up kind of warm to it. At least gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think Trethers maybe not so much. Trethers are a resident anti-musical person.
Yeah. We'll maybe do another one in the future. Maybe we should do how we're doing the Christmas special, sometime in the future we should do a musical special.
And just force Trethers to watch it.
A whole afternoon of
Chain
musical.
her to the sofa.
Yeah. But,
Also, to go all like proper cinephile knobhead on you.
Yeah.
Sight and Sound just released their top 10 films of the year, and number 1
was The Prom.
It was not The Prom. Number 1 was one of the Steve McQueen films that was part of his Small Axe series that's on iPlayer.
Okay.
It's only an hour and 8 minutes, so I would recommend that everybody watch it. But I would also like to watch it. But I don't know, maybe it's something that we could watch in the week, not as a TS Movie Club thing, but then talk about it.
As like homework.
As like a homework assignment. It's only an hour and 8 minutes. And apparently it's a really much tonally uplifting story about black culture.
Oh, that's really good.
Rather than the normal, you know, crime
heavy
and
going.
Racism and slavery, all of that. So, worth a watch.
Oh, that sounds good. One thing we noticed in this film, and that we thought could be a TS Movie Club first, was this, and this we need everyone's help, was this the first film we've watched that didn't have a gun in it? Because we think potentially
it was.
We think it was. So we need to have confirmation on that.
We've had a couple of requests for Detective Pikachu to being on the list. Well, we can put it to a vote as and when it goes on Netflix or Prime. As you guys know, I don't have to keep reminding you, it has to be on Netflix or Prime. Otherwise, we can't do it unless it's part of the Christmas movie marathon.
Yeah.
What are the best musicals? Daisy Tom says. I'm hoping to find the one still to make me a musical lover. Well, if you're looking for a film musical or a theatre musical, because obviously the filmed adaptation of Hamilton that's on Disney Plus would be where to go if you want something that's just going to blow you away. But if you want like a cinematic musical, that's kind of different. Let's not forget, all the Disney animated classics and musicals.
Well, and I would have to say that those are almost my favourite ones of a lot, of the TV.
My sister loved musicals when we were growing up, and I watched a lot of them and a lot of the classics, and I did very much enjoy West Side Story. They loved The King and I a lot more than I did.
I didn't like that.
I didn't love The King and I. But there are a number of great ones. I actually think Sound of Music's pretty good.
Yeah.
So we can definitely put something on. Get a recommendation thread going on Discord for that. Yeah. Did Paddington have a gun? Paddington, I'm pretty sure, did have a gun.
So one of the police officers would have had them, and Emily just said Booksmart. That might not have had a gun.
I might have to go back over that. And MC said The Producers is a great musical. Yes, Nathan Lane in that. Yes. So we come back to Nathan Lane.
We come back full circle.
So what we are going to say is next Friday we have our TS Movie special premiere.
Yeah.
Do you want to announce it now, or do you want to save it?
I don't mind. Whatever you think.
I think we're going to save it.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do the announcement in the week, but early in the week. Yeah. It's not going to be like a surprise or anything.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, we've got the Christmas Film Club, Christmas Film Marathon.
I can't believe how quickly that's come around.
I know. It's come around quick.
Yes.
So keep getting your votes in for that, unless you've already voted, in which case don't vote twice.
Yeah.
Currently in the lead is Elf and Home Alone. But Klaus is running up there. It was at number 1 for a while.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to see Klaus,
then give it a vote.
Make sure you get voting on that. The link for that is in our Discord. It's also on our Linktree, which is in our Instagram.
Yeah.
So those are 2 places that you can go to vote. And we can just go through the last bits of comments before we say goodbye.
Yep. Talking of musicals, The Greatest Showman was okay. Watched 20 minutes of Hamilton. Might try again. I do love The Sound of Music though. I think I don't love the ones where it's all singing. Maybe then probably not Hamilton.
Not Hamilton because it's literally the whole thing.
But it's like because it's so good, it's hip hop. But yeah. Booksmart did have a sexy panda. Oh gosh, do you remember that scene?
I don't remember that scene.
With the panda. Well, I can't say it because it's inappropriate.
No, don't remember it.
I'll have to tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Cabaret, Angela Kennedy is saying, is the best musical ever.
Go see that Chicago.
And then Emily said Les Mis. I think with musicals, it's one of those you just have to try them, and then there might be one that you just love. And it is one of those ones that if you love it, there's almost nothing better, like the really, really good ones.
But if it's not for you, I guess it's not for you.
Yeah, and maybe some people, they'll never love one. That's sad for them, though. I hope everyone finds their musical.
Kieran says, seriously, no Quizzy Rascal.
Oh, well, I thought because it was quite late that but we could do. Should we do a quick fire one?
A quick fire one. We've got
Quick
21
fire.
people on the live chat at
Woo!
this time of night.
At this time of night, guys. Gosh, crazy. You're at party animals. Let me get my notepad.
Katie's going to get her notepad out, and I'm going to quickly scramble, get the Prom's IMDb up. Don't you guys do that, because you'll be cheating. And I would know. I will know.
You'll know.
But also, very soon, I am going to do a Wonky Donkey. Probably either on Friday or maybe for the Christmas thing, if we do a live for that. But I really want to do a Wonky Donkey. And I'd love to figure out a way to do a phone-in type thing on this system. But I don't know yet. If anyone has ever used Streamlabs, please let me know if it's possible to do some kind of phone-in system on it.
That would be really cool.
But first of all, we're going to do a quick... we're going to do a quick Quizzy Rascal. There's a bit of Klaus and Christmas movie chat going on.
Yeah, Daisy Thompson, Klaus was very good, and she would watch it again happily.
We did have one person say that Klaus was their favourite Christmas film ever, having watched it last year.
Yeah.
So
it has come with some very strong...
Comes highly recommended.
Recommendations, yeah.
So I would say, yeah, if you want to vote for it, vote for it. See if I care. Okay. Question the first. Meryl Streep is in the Prom. Mm-hmm. I would like to know what is the name of her character in the new version of Little Women.
Ooh. And the emoji is a little woman. Any little woman.
Any little
woman you find.
Little Women, which is coming on to Sky Go very soon. If you have that subscription service, it might be worth checking it out. Huge amounts of praise for it. We didn't actually get to see it in the cinema, sadly. No. But we will be watching it when it comes on Sky Go because it comes highly, highly recommended. Yeah.
Ooh, I think Emily Birch has it. Azure had the correct answer, but not the emoji.
As you said, Aunt Marge, which I'm afraid is not correct.
So I said it was. So it was wrong in all ways. Actually, I'm afraid.
Kieran, it's not Cheryl. It's not Aunt Marge either. A lot of Simpsons fans, I think, are getting it auto-corrected to Marge, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But it is correct. Aunt Marge, Emily Birch. I would have expected her to get it because it is one of her top films. I wouldn't say favourites because I wouldn't like to make that assumption of her. But she did like it a lot.
You did like it, yeah.
Okay, next one. Mm-hmm. Next song. The director was called Ryan Murphy. Mm-hmm. You may have heard in the pre-live, he has famously written and produced 2 hit TV shows. I'd like you to name either one of those 2 hit TV shows.
Oof. And the emoji is a TV.
Okay. A quick clue. Ryan Murphy... this is obviously a big musical theatre thing. His 2 shows, one is quite musical theatre. The other one is not musical theatre at all. Paul Ian
got it
right. Didn't put the emoji. So you don't get any points for that, Paul Ian.
Emily's storming it.
But Paul, thank you for joining us because I don't know if this might be your first season 2 experience, but we enjoyed having you. We enjoyed the Mario Kart chat.
Yeah.
On the Discord. So... even though you didn't get any points, thanks for stopping by. Keegan-Michael Key played the principal. Mm-hmm. Who is his long-time genius collaborator who directed Get Out?
And the emoji is the heart emoji, because
we heart that film. And we heart this guy, because he's
a great guy.
He's a great guy, and he does a lot of great films with a lot of very complex, nuanced, and important messages.
And some excellent comedy.
And sketches. He did Keanu about a cat. So
brilliant film.
Each good. Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got Kieran coming in with the
spoiler. Spoiler alert.
What we
We've
saying?
got American Horror Story was correct, Daisy Tomps, for the previous one.
Oh.
The Wire was not correct, I'm afraid. And Paul Zian said his 10-week-old baby is watching with us as well.
Oh.
Kieran spoiled it. Chapman just said Peel.
Which is his...
It is in his name.
It's
not even spelt right. So I'm really not inclined to give you the points.
No one else.
But no one else is coming up with anything.
I think I'll give Dave half a point. He can be the first person to ever get
a half a point.
There you go, Dave.
You still spelt it wrong, Dave. So you're still getting half a point, I'm afraid.
It's just a half.
I'm not interested.
But...
I'm not interested in your comments. I'm not even looking at them. Okay.
We also haven't done the Matilda update, but we can do that afterwards if people are still awake.
We'll have to... Yeah, we could. Or we could save it for the Christmas one.
We could save it for the Christmas one.
So, last question.
Okay. Worth 40 points.
40 points. Kieran, you better get your act together because you've done bugger all so far.
Yep.
I want to know which other... Now, this is going to be for the TS fans.
Ooh.
Which other TS film also starred Nicole Kidman?
I know it. That's a bit harsh, because what about newcomers?
Don't care.
Oh.
I'm sorry, guys. You can. This is just the way it goes.
You've had too much wine. I can tell. I can tell. And the emoji is... Well, I don't know, that would have given it away. Can't do that one. The emoji is apple. That's the one I can't think of.
An apple or just apple?
Any apple.
I am sorry to the people who haven't joined before.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not that sorry, but I am kind of sorry. Paddington 2.
Paddington 2.
Paddington 2 is actually... Is she in Paddington 2? God, you're making me think now.
Because I was thinking of Bombshell, and then I was going to do the... Is it...
I don't think she is in Paddington 2. Is she?
Is she? Well, we're going to need to go to...
we're going to need to go to Paddington...
ref.
Who's the third ref?
I don't know. We need someone who's the third ref.
VAR.
VAR. Go to VAR.
VAR says...
Daisy Tom said I thought she was the baddie. I remember her being that. Was she the baddie in Paddington 1?
Paddington 1, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that was it.
Paddington 1.
And we did Paddington 2, but that was good because that made us...
It's good, but it's not right.
Yeah.
But the correct answer was Bombshell.
And who was first then with Bombshell?
Emily Birch.
This has been a huge day for Emily Birch. She may even... Because that's a full... Should you get the full 40?
She got the full 40. No. Oh, well...
Did she?
No, there was... It was David Chapman spoiled it for her.
Well, David, I like that.
And a lot of Paddington chat. Kieran got Paddington. Yeah, but Paddington wasn't a TS Movie Club selection.
Paddington 2.
I think you'll find it was Paddington 2 that we watched.
Birchie's picked up 50 points tonight.
Crikey, Dermot.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot of points.
Yeah. Got my so much that I've got my pen stuck in my hand.
So well done to those guys who got the points. Mainly Birchie.
Yeah.
Birchie is the Catherine Ashling of 2020 season 2.
Yeah.
And Kieran got no points despite lobbying hard for.
But I hope you enjoyed it.
I hope you had fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
That's what all that matters. That you try hard and you have fun.
But that is just about all we have time for, I'm afraid. Okay. I'm going to have to go back to my mixing desk now to put the curtains up when we're done.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Get them prepped.
Well, I thought you'd put them up already because I can see it on the screen now. I thought, it's a bit abrupt.
A bit abrupt. Don't even say goodbye.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight for a super fun musical that we took a while to get into, but then we all loved it.
Exponential curve of a film is how I described it, and I stand by that.
Yeah, strong.
And we'll see you next Friday for our special premiere, then Sunday for the Christmas movies, and hopefully Wonky Donkey.
Ooh, exciting.
But we'll see you guys all very soon.
Okie doke.
Okay, bye.